Hello, I am Rachel Wilson, and welcome to my presentation. In today's and tomorrow's world, there are many challenges students can confront and endure within a school library. Three persistent obstacles for a school library is intellectual freedom, equity of access, and privacy. The American Library Association states, quote, "School libraries offer print, media, and online content to meet students' needs and nurture their intellectual curiosity and development." End quote. Students have the right to choose, have access to, and maintain privacy with the resources they use. It is the duty of the school librarian to service these rights. No one has the exact same beliefs or values, so it would not be fair for students to have access to a resource because of someone else's moral principles. Banning books infringes upon student rights to equity of access as well. Some caregivers are fearful of exposing children to diverse content like gender, race, religion, and disabilities, just to name a few. How can students learn about and understand how to approach diversity in the real world if the information is not available to them? The ALA's webpage defines intellectual freedom as a basic right, quote, "of library users to read, seek information, and speak freely as guaranteed by the First Amendment," end quote. So, banning or censoring resources in school libraries not only disregards student rights, it violates the First Amendment. Weisberg reiterates from the Article 3 in the Library Bill of Rights, quote, "Libraries should challenge censorship to provide information and enlightenment," end quote. She also echoes the ALA's Code of Ethics by suggesting librarians should, quote, "resist all efforts to censor library resources," end quote. Banning resources deprives students of their right to information. School librarians should make a long-term goal to support laws and rights that suppress censorship. Without access to library resources, students would lack foundational skills needed to be well-rounded adults in the future who, as Adams states, can, quote, "locate and evaluate information, synthesize ideas from many sources, and make wise decisions," end quote. McLaughlin and Hendricks allude the responsibility of school librarians is to, quote, "promote information access, intellectual freedom, and the right to read," end quote. And excluding library resources is, quote, "antithetical to important student rights," end quote. School librarians can make a short-term goal to uphold these values of student learning. Students have the right to access information. All people, according to Gorman, quote, "deserve and should be given the recorded knowledge and information they want, no matter who they are and in which format that knowledge and information is contained," end quote. Equity is about providing fair, not equal resources. The American Association of School Librarians organized 6 shared foundations in order to promote equity of access that can be applied to students within school libraries. Include diversity, inquire to problem solve, collaborate unbiasedly with others, curate the diverse needs of learners and their communities, explore to discover opportunities to read, make, tinker, innovate, and grow, engage to create and share knowledge. Limited access to technologies at home can prevent students from accessing information and technology skills. Many jobs require digital skills. Hunsinger implores the importance of access to computers in school libraries so students can learn fundamental digital literacy skills. Many students have diverse backgrounds. Lechenberg and Phillips relate how the American Association of School Librarians standards agree, challenging us to embrace diversity as we work to, quote, "remedy structural barriers to equity," end quote. Image 4 displays how students could be serviced in a school library. Integration and inclusion embrace all students' diversities. Exclusion and segregation do not. Inclusion provides equity and fairness to all users and their diversities and should be considered for use by school librarians. In order to reduce informational poverty, a long-term goal for school librarians could be to provide access to resources in various formats, interest, and reading levels. A short-term goal for school librarians is to provide resources that are current, accessible, and relevant to students. As Hunsinger relays, school libraries may be the only source for student access. With continuous advances in technology, privacy continues to be a concern for many libraries. Gorman asserts user privacy is, quote, invaded daily, end quote, so school librarians must control and protect student information. Creating a privacy policy will rightfully protect students and their rights. Protocol for user privacy, found in ALA's Code of Ethics in Article 3, advocates for librarians to respectfully protect and prevent intrusion of user privacy. Gorman observed many libraries choose to keep a record of user activity, which could include things like resources checked out, computer usage and history, or student login information, which could all be considered a privacy issue. Students are oftentimes limited to access on digital platforms because teachers and administrators are misinformed about the privacy issues and intellectual freedoms of students. Barak suggests through professional development, teachers can be taught privacy guidelines to assure protection over student information. School librarians should protect and tend to student privacy in order to gain trust with students. A long-term goal would be to properly employ technology resources, as it would benefit the school librarian, showcasing their capabilities and trustworthiness to students. To maintain student confidentiality and privacy, school librarians should enable a privacy policy as a short-term goal describing, quote, how students' privacy is protected, when their library records may be disclosed, and to whose circulation and education records may be released, end quote, according to Adams. Students will inevitably face the challenges of intellectual freedom, equity of access, and privacy within school libraries as technology and information advances and evolves. To limit the obstacles presented by these major challenges and to provide students with the best experiences and services, school librarians should be informed about student rights and be efficient with modern library resources. Students should receive the right to have choice, access to, and privacy for resources they want to use. Thank you for taking the time to view this presentation.